UBC News Tonight is coming to you live from the Nile Avenue today on the 7th of December 2023. A very warm welcome. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. In our top stories of the day, President Museveni assures investors of ready market in Uganda. First Lady rallies education partners towards motivating teachers. And GBC to receive 30 billion Ugandan shillings annually with effect from next financial year. We start off with President Museveni, who has today met a group of investors from Strand Hanson Limited, a London-based company at State House in Entebbe. During the meeting, the president accepted their proposal of mining lithium in Ntungamo district that shall be used to locally manufacture electric car batteries. He went ahead to inform the investors that Uganda is currently making electric vehicles but still importing batteries, citing that this is causing unnecessary additional costs for the country. He also assured them for a ready market for the lithium batteries, and the president also assured the investors that the mining license shall be processed for them as soon as possible so that the mining process of lithium can commence. Now, through a partnership with a locally best versatile mining and laboratories company, the investors will mine lithium and manufacture the electric batteries. Mr. Johnny Kaki, a representative of Strand Hanson Limited, told the president that the mining site has already been identified in Ntungamo and it is only the mining license remaining to kick off the project. The First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, has urged stakeholders in the education sector to join hands in motivating and honouring exceptional work of teachers. The minister was officiating at the 2023 Teachers Making a Difference Awards initiative organised by Vision Group, and she says that the kind of initiative that it is attracts people towards the teaching profession. Take a look.
Okusiima abasomesa kigendererwamu okubongera okubagazisa omulimu so n'okusikiriza
We're so sorry about that mishap, but at 10 p.m. we'll definitely have more details on the story concerning the First Lady or later in the bulletin. But in more news, government has affirmed commitment towards continuous financial support towards Uganda's national public broadcaster, UBC. Minister for Information, Communications, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Badiomunsi reveals a presidential commitment that will see 30 billion Ugandan shillings allocated to UBC starting the next financial year. This, he said during a meeting with the UBC Board of Directors, where he expressed optimism in the just approved 24 billion supplementary budget for Uganda Broadcasting Corporation.
That government is committed to financially supporting the national broadcaster is no longer a question of when and how. This is because all the questions have been answered in this well-put assurance.
The president has also even guided that we work around the clock to turn UBC into an international station to the level of Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, so that it becomes not only a local station here in Uganda, but we raise it to a level of international standards.
The commitment includes both the 24 billion shillings supplementary allocation recently passed by Parliament and the proposed annual funding of 30 billion Uganda shillings.
We have the commitment from the level of the president to see to it that funding for UBC continues to improve. That's why in the most recent communication from HE, the president, he did direct that the government, through the normal budgeting process, should provide at least 30 billion shillings to UBC, starting with the financial year which we have now started the budgeting for.
This downplays the initial idea of all advertising revenue going through UBC, a decision revisited by stakeholders in mid-2023.
We agreed that this area position can be stayed so that the advertisement can also be done through the other private media, but then we all arrived at a commitment that we fund UBC satisfactorily. So it was a win-win position. So UBC never lost because we agreed with the president that the government should satisfactorily fund UBC, and that's why you see like that supplementary of 24 billion coming.
The newly approved funding for UBC is a ray of hope and an operations booster for the national broadcaster.
As you might all know, we have international conferences coming up. Non-aligned movement, NAM, we have the G77 plus China. We want to make sure that we have the right equipment and we have the right infrastructure, from the satellite fees that we have to pay and all the technical equipment that we need on all our 18 DTT sites. We are going to make sure they are upgraded, up and ready to make sure that all the free-to-air channels are up and running. So it's development, and it's only development that we are looking at for the supplementary budget.
One of the main challenges of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation has been inadequate funding. With this permanently resolved, the journey for UBC progress remains on course. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrut, for the detailed updates. News coming in is that unknown gunmen suspected to belong to the Allied Democratic Forces raided Bududa Farm Garden in Ngoko village in Kitwamba, sub-county of Kasese district. Details follow.
According to the police spokesperson in Rwenzori East region, the assailants, suspected to be 5 in number, killed when Betty Bera and injured her nephew, 14-year-old Harrison Masareka. Bera and other locals were camping in the area to chase away birds from destroying the already harvested rice. The locals had erected temporary grass-thatched houses, but the rest deserted the area following the attack.
At around the 22:30 hours, a group of suspected ADF at the village of Nkoko, Parish Kitwamba sub-county, in a home where they cut and killed a woman by the names of Vira Kitakolwa Betty. That lady is 47 years old, is a resident of Nyamugasani village, Kagando, Paris, Kisinga sub-county.
Masareka, who managed to escape from the assailants after they injured him on the head, narrated his ordeal. He ran away from them and dashed to Ngoko Trading Center, about 3 kilometers from the scene of crime. Masareka is currently nursing 3 deep wounds on his head at Mount St. Mary's Hospital in Kasese town.
Very big wounds on the forehead and on the scalp, and we received the boy when he was not fully conscious and had a very severe bleeding.
Yofis Katenene, the Kiswamba sub-county chairperson, revealed that the assailants also abducted one Astona Gabon, while James Thembo and Julius Biarhanga escaped from the jaws of abduction by running away from the suspected rebels.
Bira Betty has been killed by suspected ADF rebels, and he was cut by pangas on the neck and some other parts of the body.
Moving on from that, the Inspectorate of Government has emphasized that lifestyle audits are essential for apprehending suspects who misuse taxpayers' money, leading to substandard service delivery to citizens. She asserts that the syndicated form of corruption emanating from the Ministry of Finance has affected government accountability. She also stated that her office has so far recovered about 29 billion Ugandan shillings and investigated over 1,500 cases of corruption. She made these remarks while delivering a joint community address with other agencies including CID, PPDA, FEAR and the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. Ivan Kawa reports.
The Inspectorate of Government is currently investigating 5,000 cases related to allegations of corruption and has handled over 1,500 cases. The Inspectorate has issued orders for the recovery of 30 billion shillings from the investigated cases, with 19 billion already recovered and deposited into the Consolidated Fund account.
We have also caused 119 public officers to be dismissed from service due to corrupt tendencies. 14 were reprimanded, 10 were interdicted.
104 corruption cases have been prosecuted, resulting in 98 convictions, with 55 officials barred from holding any public office for a decade. The State House Anti-Corruption Unit has also recovered 2.9 billion shillings and saved an additional 3.2 billion in the Iron Sheet saga, preventing potential losses.
The unit has also carried out interventions in the areas of education, recruitment, parish developmental, land and environmental, corruption and fraud against investors, among others.
The Financial Intelligence Authority received 3,627 suspicious transaction reports and forwarded 186 intelligence reports to law enforcement agencies for further action.
Of the 186 reports disseminated, 9 were intelligence reports related to corruption offences, and these cases, when successfully investigated and culprits prosecuted, would lead to a possible recovery of 6.4 billion shillings.
The Accountant General's Office in the Ministry of Finance has automated and modernized financial management systems in 25 government entities to enhance efficiency and discourage corruption.
Government employs about 380,000 people, and 10% of these are responsible for decision-making, the appropriation of funds and endorsing various projects across the country. The Inspector General of Government, Betty Olive Namisango-Kamya, argues that this percentage is responsible for most of the corruption tendencies that have been witnessed in the country.
Ugandan who is listening to me, if there is no medicine in the hospitals, it is not because government has no money to buy medicine. It is because the office bearers who are given this money to buy medicine divert it. If we are moving on bad roads, poorly constructed roads, it is not because government has no money to construct roads. It is because the office bearers given the money to construct roads help themselves to most of the money, leaving the small amount of money to the contractor to figure out how to deliver a road with half the budget that is given to them.
The Inspector of Government acknowledges that corruption is syndicated and originates from the Ministry of Finance, Parliament, and implementing agencies advocating for the enforcement of lifestyle audits to identify potential criminals.
Tax are built in the budget. It goes to the implementing agencies. All of them were part of the grand negotiations. And by the time it comes to execution, to the contractor, half of the money goes back up the chain. We are seriously want to promote the lifestyle audit, but it comes with a mindset change of the public. Then we use the authority we have to call these people to order and ask them to explain and to justify and to account for their lifestyle. And then if they cannot, we take them to court, we prosecute them, we confiscate their property, we auction them, we put the money back in the consolidated fund where it belongs.
Ugandans are set to join the global community on December 9th, 2023 to mark International Anti-Corruption Day. The theme for this year's observancy is strengthening partnerships in the work against corruption, aimed at raising awareness about the damaging effects of corruption and emphasizing that the vice can be stopped. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Ivan Kahwa, for that report. Moving on in more stories, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has lauded the renewal of the relationship between Uganda and Rwanda, emphasizing its positive impact on business between the two sisterly nations. Dr. Baryomunsi expressed these sentiments during his visit to the Uganda-Rwanda border at Gatuna, where he was even granted permission to cross to the Rwandan side. Take a look.
Several Ugandan officials, including Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, have been touring the Uganda-Rwanda border of Gatuna. During the visit, it was witnessed that a new cargo scanner was installed on the site, indicating the ongoing improvements and upgrades at the Ugandan station. According to Uganda Revenue Authority officials stationed at the border, the flow of business has significantly improved.
4 hours. And people are moving day and night.
In fact, for the buses, most come in the night. Yes. And most of the buses come in the night.
There are no many security incidents. When they pass, they reach Kigali safely.
With the improved diplomatic ties between Uganda and Rwanda, Minister Baryomunsi was allowed to cross to the Rwandan side with just a simple call to his Rwandan counterparts.
You know, we said no crossing, no international travels. So I was checking before the RDC had a...
We shall take it up as the government, but also we shall have to address the issue of Wi-Fi. Because it seems to be weak, and also intermittent in different spots.
Minister Dr. Chris Baryomunsi commended the renewed relationship between the two sisterly nations, highlighting its significance in fostering East African brotherhood.
On that side I saw the passengers are many, but on the Revenue Authority,
yes,
there are fewer people.
Yes. Now, right now at the ESC level, as you know, we are at the Customs Union. So, because of that, people pay taxes in advance.
The Gatuna border is recognized as one of the busiest entry and exit points in Uganda, handling approximately close to 400 cargo and passenger trucks from the two states on a daily basis.
We are benefiting because if you were to see most of these trucks going down, about half are Uganda exports. About half are exports from Uganda. Then the other half are transits from Kenya to Rwanda or Kenya to Congo.
Robert.
First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has urged stakeholders in the education sector to join hands in motivating and honoring exceptional work of teachers. The minister was officiating at the 2023 Teachers Making a Difference Awards initiative organized by the Vision Group, and she says that this kind of initiative attracts people towards the teaching profession.
And Sister Gladys decided
honoring and awarding teachers is expected to enhance teachers' patriotism and attracts young people to embrace the teaching profession. The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has rallied partners in the education sector towards appreciating work of teachers. She was officiating at the 2023 Teachers Making a Difference Awards organized by Vision Group.
By publishing the works of these teachers, this initiative also gives educators a platform to exchange innovative teaching techniques and strategies with one another, thus fostering a culture that promotes collaboration and ongoing learning.
6 teachers have been awarded with prizes and also a trip to Ireland for exposure to the different teaching mechanisms. The initiative is supported by Ireland government and travel care. And the Ministry of Education and Sports committed to support most 6 runners-up to the trip.
Teachers demonstrate excellence in their work and went the extra mile. The top 6 from this group will join the next study group to Ireland, together with the top 6 that we recognised in 2022 during last year's National Teachers' Day celebration, to support their professional development.
Vision Group has unveiled another product of Vision Teen magazine to guide young people on handling dynamic technological environment.
However, there's growing concern about the unregulated information that the youth pick from the social media. Moral degeneration of teens has been partly attributed to this. At various occasions, social psychologists have called for innovations to be able to address this challenge. With this product, the Vision Group is responding to this call by creating a platform for the youth to engage constructively.
Minister Janet Museveni applauds Vision Group for innovations intending to counter moral decay in society.
I therefore charge the Vision Group to create a safe environment for young people to interact with each other, with appropriate content and guidance from adults and experts. I'm informed that the Teens Vision will cover some of the important issues that impact the youth, such as teenage identity, sexuality, building meaningful relationships, and youth entrepreneurship, among others. This information is critical because social media, with its unanchored discussions, can easily influence the young people into unethical behavior.
The Teachers Making a Difference Awards initiative is a form of developmental journalism, of profiling teachers with unique features while serving. It aims at appreciating their role and motivating others towards the professional. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
Invitation, and we thank you for
Chambogo University's management has received a call to continue increasing the number of PhDs in science, technology and innovation to enhance the research agenda in the country. On behalf of the First Lady Janet Museveni at the second day of Chambogo University's 19th graduation ceremony, Timothy Sejoba, the Acting Commissioner of University Education and Training, emphasized the importance of maintaining accredited and relevant university programs as a distinctive brand.
Over 10,000 students are being conferred with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, and awarded with diplomas and certificates in various disciplines during the 19th graduation ceremony of Chambogo University. Students excelled in master's degree programs such as crop science, agricultural education and extension, vocational studies in education, human nutrition, home economics, hotel and institutional catering, vocational pedagogy, and art in industrial design, among others.
For example, creating chalk through using eggshells that have been deposited, and that has been one of the greatest innovations, to use that chalk, help out with the kids who are doing schooling in the village.
Me as a counselor or a psychologist, I'm going to make sure that I talk to those people so that I counsel and guide them to help them live a better life.
I think they don't consider education to be something big, so I really wanted to study hard and reach up to the university and at least become a teacher and also advise others in our family.
Design. I'm a painter, so I'm doing a lot of work for the community. I have a partnership with Viva Conagua, and I'm painting murals to sensitize the public about washing hands, proper hygiene, waste disposal, and all these.
The Chancellor of Chambogo University, Professor John Yakobo Okedi, noted the growing number of graduating students, urging the academic staff to focus more on research and innovations to improve the university's ranking. The university has approved 45 existing academic programs and 29 new ones, including 5 PhDs in human nutrition, geography, social work, history and music art, recommending them to the National Council for Higher Education for accreditation. Speaking on behalf of the First Lady, Janet Museveni, during the second day of the graduation ceremony, Acting Commissioner University Education and Training, Timothy Sejoba, mentioned that the PhDs would enhance the research agenda to drive development.
For higher education to contribute to growth and development of the country, universities like Chambogo must produce more PhDs to bolster the research agenda, and this will propel development in the right areas. More PhDs also mean university growth and growth in academic leadership, increase in research as well.
The graduates who persevered through the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic were encouraged to utilize the knowledge they have acquired to build their foundation and position themselves in the growing world.
Stay away from any influences that will cut your dreams short, like alcoholism, sexual proximity, which can expose you to HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases.
I'm Nafka Farida and Rogers Komagum in Chambogo.
Congratulations to all the graduates. State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, wants higher institutions of learning to focus more on science-based courses, which will jar the country's efforts to attain its transformation vision come 2040. Muyingo was officiating the 16th graduation ceremony of Eastport University in Kampala.
The desire to drive the country's economic agenda through innovation prompted Eastport University to delve more on science-based courses to achieve this goal. Speaking at the 16th graduation ceremony, State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, urged graduates to use the knowledge attained during their courses to transform rural areas.
Use the knowledge you have acquired, use the skills you have acquired from here to go and develop our communities, particularly in the rural areas. I hope you are hearing. Our services are badly needed much more in the rural areas, where most of Ugandans are than on the Kampala streets.
Muyingo stressed the need for higher institutions of learning to accredit courses taught by National Council for Higher Education to ensure their relevancy in the development of the country. He told them to put more emphasis on science-based courses.
Our government is very committed to increasing access to higher education, while ensuring that high standards are maintained to give our graduates a global competitive advantage. In this context, I want to encourage universities and other learning institutions to reinforce their systems by establishing functional departments dedicated to quality assurance. All your courses should be submitted for reassessment on time.
Well, I guess it's a season of graduations, and congratulations to all the ones that graduated from Eastport University. Now, the head of Internal Security Organization, Lieutenant Colonel Emi Katabazi, has urged the youth to actively participate in questioning and scrutinizing government policies. These insights were shared during a meeting at Kasasa SS in Kalungu, where Lieutenant Colonel Katabazi encouraged the youth to engage in the NRM activities for the betterment of their communities and actively participate in the governance structures.
The NRM Secretariat has entered a third day camped in Greater Masaka, meeting youth on their social transformation. At Kasasa Secondary School, Lieutenant Colonel Katabazi, accompanied by the State Minister of Water, Honorable Aisha Sechindi, were informed about the concerns of the youth in Bokomansimbi North.
Mulimu abantu era abagala okozesa abavubuka sagala kubeera direct ku issues ezimu ngezo for understandable reasons, naye tubasaba beewale abakola ebintu ebibi oba ebyagala okutuusa abamu.
Colonel Katabazi emphasized the importance of parliamentary representation from the Greater Masaka region. He encouraged the youth to be proactive in addressing challenges and building a better future for the country, stressing the significance of their role in shaping the nation's destiny. The The Director NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, expressed satisfaction with the youth's active participation, highlighting the positive impact of their contributions to community development.
We have also trained them in financial literacy because we have observed that the government has released a lot of money in the hands of our youth, but unfortunately all this money is being lost. At the end of the day, they keep complaining of poverty. Why? And yet a lot of money is still with them. Others have misused it, others have drunk it and have done a lot of things with that money. At the end of the day, the money is not there. So
Minister Sechindi commended the NRM's commitment to inclusive governance and encouraged the youth to actively engage in community development, expressing her optimism about their potential to contribute positively to society.
Government yeriko kati ye manifesto jet implementing era je tulina okusaba bye twagala so bwe tulina ogisaba bye twagala ate tugenda gisaba nga eno omuntu oyagala akwata amawulire ate omusindika tosobola kuteekawo
abavubuka naddala aba oppositionism nandi bakubidde omulanga n'aba NRM nti babeere omuntu omu tubeere mu ndowooza zaffe ez'ebyobufuzi nga twawukana naye nga tezitwawudde mu bintu bye tuyinza okufokasingako ne bitutwala mu maaso.
The meeting concluded with a commitment to continued collaboration, recognizing the vital role of youth in shaping the socio-economic landscape of the country.
So I want to thank God for this, and I believe our objectives are almost and will be achieved at the end of the day based on the feedback we are getting from this youth. Our work now is going to be following up and ensuring that we take this kind of camps to other parts of the country.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories from the business and sports world.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tubayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism. By curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy, with the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tubayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. Martha. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Anti-alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Sebo.
Yes?
This is the bill.
What?
Malaria testing, 10,000. Treatment, 100,000 since we put on drip.
Hey, Musao, can you read this for me? Before I brought my wife here, I'd already spent money on buying herbal medicine and drugs from the pharmacy, which didn't work.
But Sebo, the government gave out mosquito nets. Doesn't your family use them?
We got the mosquito nets, but they got holes and we didn't know what to do.
Protect your loved ones from malaria. Sew your mosquito nets whenever they get damaged to keep the mosquitoes away. Ensure all nets are tied up every morning to avoid damaging them. Ensure that everyone in your family sleeps under a treated mosquito net every night, whether it is a cold or hot season. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
No malaria will catch.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. As we continue, the Kampala City Traders Association, in collaboration with Diamond Trust Bank, is taking strides to empower traders through a small business recovery fund aimed at facilitating business growth. As part of their partnership, Diamond Trust Bank will also finance the establishment of the Kasita Village Estate. Details follow.
The Kampala City Traders Association has formalized a memorandum of understanding with Diamond Trust Bank to empower business communities by providing them with suitable financial and backing services. Additionally, women and youth in business will receive preferential treatment and special offers on backing services.
Under this partnership, we are classifying or we are separating the normal business with women in business and youth in business. And we want to give a 1% concession on the normal rate to these categories. That is women in business and youth in business.
The CEO of Diamond Trust Bank highlights that given the post-COVID-19 challenges faced by traders, the Small Business Recovery Fund aims to empower them, particularly women who form a majority. Thaddeus Musoke, the chairperson of Kampala City Traders Association, emphasizes the importance of revitalizing business that have been on standstill.
Businesses have been facing several challenges. For sure, our partnership with Diamond Trust Bank is going to make it so easy for the business community to access loans at a very fair rate. Furthermore, we as Kasita, we shall assist the bank to make sure that we get reliable business people who can meet their obligation in a very flexible terms.
The MOU also encompasses discussion on environmental sustainability and governance to address issues such as energy efficiency and the reduction of carbon emission in the city. Furthermore, the agreement supports the establishment of the Kasita Village, where Diamond Trust Bank will fund Kasita members to acquire land in Kasita Village Estate.
And furthermore, we are rendering another special package where our members can utilize the Kasita Village, which we are unveiling very soon, whereby even the financing can be got from Diamond Trust Bank.
Why can't we take a commitment today that in next 5 years, DTB plus Kasita
we are going to plant 1 million trees. Can we agree to that?
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Judicial officers have received a compelling call to adopt strategies from the East African member states to address the persistent challenge of case backlog in the judicial system. This call was made at the closure of the 20th Annual East African Magistrates and Judge Conference held in Kampala.
Magistrates and judges from East African countries have concluded their annual conference held in Munyonyo, Kampala. The conference's closure was presided over by the Chief Justice of Uganda, Alphonse Owiny-Dollo, who urged the judicial officials to implement the shared insights from the conference in their duties within the judicial jurisdictions as member states.
Our state, each one of us and all of us here in Uganda, as his blessing, to lead us and we travel with him. And for you, whom I know will reluctantly be returning to your other home, may he lead the way and remind you each time that you have an obligation to come back to Uganda.
Dollo called for collaboration among East African states, emphasizing brotherhood and unity.
Those of you, the younger generation, we're not handing the mantle to you, we're holding the mantle together so that when we sleep off, you don't even notice because you're already holding the mantle. There's nothing like future leader. The leadership is now. We just leave you to continue. You don't even realize we are gone. It is on you to hold the name of our respective judiciaries, to hold the name of the judiciary of the Inter-Lacaspil region high.
The conference covered various topics, including addressing the prolonged challenge of case backlog, corruption tendencies, banking challenges, among others.
And the people who are involved in these cases craft their own solutions. We should be able to build that transparency. It's faster, it's people involving, it's our custom that we used to practice, and I'm sure the perceptions, because the outcomes of these decisions would be participatory. So the issue of the human resource is critical. The issue of finance and support to the judiciaries is critical, and therefore the support from the other arms of the state, especially the parliament and the executive, is critical.
Keitinima urged member states to borrow strategies from each other in tackling the issues affecting judiciary to ensure that justice is delivered to litigants.
We should try to identify the old cases and deal with them first. We should try to identify cases that need quick resolution because there are cases which cannot wait. And then we have to give the commitment. It's commitment about deciding those cases. Secondly, adoption of technology that minimizes the contact of the judicial officers with the people, but also makes it easier for people to register their cases in court.
The 20th Four-Day Magistrates and Judges Conference was held under the theme, harmonizing the best practices of judiciary in East Africa. The next year's conference, the 21st Annual East African Magistrates and Judges Conference, will be hosted in Kigali, Rwanda. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugude, UBC News.
Are not supposed to form trade unions.
State Minister for Fisheries Helen Adoa has expressed concern over the rate at which lakes are being depleted. This she blames on some corrupt individuals conspiring with the enforcement officers to harvest immature fish. This she echoed while officiating at the National Celebrations for Fisheries Day held at Ndandamire Primary School in Bulisa District.
It is a promising sector, unfortunately under threat. Illegal fishing methods are reported on the increase, including harvesting of immature fish. This was part of the message that State Minister for Fisheries Helen Adoa carried on World Fisheries Day.
Some greedy individual Ugandans who have now shifted their greed, their corruption to the lake, where they take immature fish, load in lorries, load in trailers, load in box vehicles.
The minister says the country is currently experiencing a challenge of fish stock outs. She says some fisheries enforcement officers are conniving with scrupulous people to deplete the lake.
And they are so powerful that nobody stops them on the way. Sometimes people who are supposed to protect the lake are the ones escorting them.
Adowa now wants the fishing community to safeguard the lakes.
The community themselves don't know that the lake is theirs and they should protect it. They should own it. That is also a challenge. When people do not appreciate what they have, it is difficult for them to be forced. You need, first of all, to protect your lake. You have to watch what is happening in the lake.
It is a matter that caught the attention of the Directorate of Fisheries Resources, Tom Mukasabu Kenya. The acting director promised legal action against culprits.
So these people are like untouchable. However, she said that she's going to fight them, and also I'm also going to fight them. Good enough. His Excellency gave us the Fisheries Protection Arm, which is an arm to help us fight illegal fishing.
All this took place in the Bulisa district of Bunyoro sub-region in western Uganda. The woman member of parliament for Bulisa district, Nora Bigirwa Nyendwoha, appealed to government to prioritize the fisheries sector.
For example, the money that is being advanced for PDM, the 1 million, cannot be enough for someone who is involved in the fishing activities. Therefore, we are requesting and pleading with the government that to accord special interest or maybe give an affirmative action to the fishing sector.
The 2023 edition of the World Fisheries Day was held under the theme Promoting Responsible Fishing Methods for Improved Household Incomes and Livelihoods. Henry Okrut, UBC.
As Uganda gears up to host the non-allied movement heads of state summit in January next year, UBC is launching a brief series tonight to explore facts about the genesis of the non-allied movement, its aims and objectives. Tonight we delve into the Bandung Conference of April 1950, where representatives from 29 governments of Asian and African nations gathered in Bandung, Indonesia. The discussions centered on peace, the role of the Third World in the Cold War, economic development and decolonization. Let's now explore the highlights of the Fast Bandung Conference, a pivotal event that laid the foundation for the non-allied movement.
(1950) Bandung Conference. The term non-alignment was used for the first time in 1950 at the United Nations by India and Yugoslavia, both of which refused to align themselves with the other side in the multi-alliances involving Korean War. Drawing on the principles agreed at the Bandung Conference in 1955, the non-aligned movement was an organization founded on the Brijuni Islands in Yugoslavia in 1956 and was formalized by signing the Declaration of the Brijuni on 19th July 1956.
Welcome back from that story. In more news, on a sad note, more than 20 lives were tragically lost, with many others rushed to Guatiro Hospital for treatment following a horrific accident on the Northern Highway. Now, the incident occurred when a box body vehicle with plate number UBD 520H traveling from Chaliwajala Northern Bypass collided with 10 other vehicles. Witnesses on the scene attributed the accident to the box body driver who was reportedly driving at a high speed. A box body vehicle bearing plate number UBD 520H collided with and crashed into more than 10 other vehicles, resulting in the loss of over 20 lives and leaving several others injured. The injured individuals were swiftly transported to Guatiro Hospital for medical attention. According to eyewitnesses, the primary cause of the accident was the high-speed driving of the box body vehicle. Now, the victims included graduating students from Chambogo University who were returning from their graduation ceremony, accompanied by their parents. Daniel Cyrus, Senior Communications Officer in Iganga, and other fathers of the graduates shared that there were 5 individuals in their car, and he provided updates on the latest developments. The vehicles involved in the accident comprised of vans, taxis, and others.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tubayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism. By curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy, with the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tuayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bioresearch Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road and Jumia, Uganda, or call 0703 152 152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Wait, Titus, you need to take your medicine.
But Mom, they are playing without me.
Here, swallow your medicine fast. I don't want you to get another headache from that infection.
Medicines help us feel better when we are ill, but sometimes they can cause side effects. By reporting side effects, you help us learn about the medicine we use. This improves quality of care for each patient. Always report suspected side effects to NDA. Together, we can make medicines safer for everyone. This message is brought to you by National Drug Authority with support from Global Fan.
You're still watching UBC News tonight, and in our business stories, government has endeavored to help create a conducive environment for the private sector growth, says Evelyn Anite, the State Minister for Investment. At the inaugural PSFU Gala, Anite hailed the private sector for their contribution to Uganda's social and economic growth agenda and promised to tackle their concerns.
The Private Sector Foundation Uganda has recognized its partners for their dedication to supporting Uganda's social and economic growth.
So it's a year-end celebration somewhat of the private sector. We're trying to celebrate the private sector going through this year or whichever year that we will be celebrating, and also we will be identifying the critical thing in celebrating the private sector is going to be giving awards.
This was at the inaugural PSFU Gala 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel.
Our membership, a diverse tapestry of businesses from all sectors, represents the very essence of Uganda's thriving private sector. From agriculture to manufacturing, from finance to technology, our members are the backbone of our economy, creating jobs, generating wealth, and driving innovation. For us to achieve this successfully, we thought it important that our members interact with each other, government and our development partners to create an avenue for more partnerships and joint ventures.
According to the private sector umbrella body, the sector continues to create more jobs, saying that at least 76,000 jobs have been created in 2023 for young people, and of these, 63% were young women. The gala brought together private sector captains of industry, heads of mission, government officials, development partners, among others.
And I also need to give you assurance that we're not only addressing the challenge of cost of money, we're also addressing the challenge of access to market. So working together with Private Sector Foundation, we are not only going to be connecting you to the market of 300 million people in East Africa, but we're looking forward to ensuring that the 1.4 billion people in the African Continental Free Trade Area are actually being connected with you. And I want to tell you that this year, actually, together with the European Union, we organized an PSFU actively being involved in this attraction of FDI out of Europe, the 27 countries of Europe.
Uganda has pursued a private sector-led approach to its economic policy and management for the last 3 decades. This has put the private sector at the forefront of the growth and development process of the country. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Youth organization.
Though the past days have been met with heavy downpours in Kampala, the Uganda Tennis Open Championship has managed to progress with about 45 games played out of the 96. The games happening at the Lugogo tennis courts and the Kampala courts have attracted players from across the region, with headlining names including Kenyan Ismail Changwaya, Ugandan Simon Ayela, Frank Tayewa and Winnie Birungi, among others. The Uganda Tennis Open is a prestigious tennis event that offers platforms for the creme de la creme of tennis in the region to compete against each other. The organizers of this year's event are hopeful, if the weather permits, that they'll play all games until the final on the 9th of December 2023.
We have changed the format a bit, so instead of playing up to 6, we are going to play fast to 4, so that the games run faster and we can catch up with the schedule. We are using 2 different venues, Lugogo and Kampala Club. This tournament runs until the 9th, which is Saturday. We hope to finish by the 9th. That's when we'll have the last match, the men's finals. And we are asking and inviting fans to come and watch this fantastic tennis going on. These are the best in the region. We have brought you here.
I mean, this is a privilege. Actually, we'd like to say thank you for the Federation for making this thing happen, and then also for making us seniors to get opportunity to come and play, because I mean we haven't been playing a lot of tournaments, senior tournament, this couple of years, but this is our privilege, and I'm so happy that I'm back in Uganda again to defend it, because I won I think 2 Uganda Open before, and I mean actually 3.
My first to have fun, to test my game, where how far I can manage to play, how good I can play every day. For me, I'm ready to play. So any player, because a player is a player, so you cannot blame or discuss another player, because we don't know each other for a while. So I've been not in Uganda for a while. So some players we know each other, but any player can play. He can able to hit the ball. He can able to play. So you just get ready for any matches coming up.
And just we're at the end of the bulletin. Thank you so much for watching from 8 to now 2 minutes past 9 p.m. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Do join me again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. Stay tuned for more programming.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It is not albinism. It is not a cancer. It is not witchcraft. It is not that one has HIV/AIDS. It is not contagious. Does not spread through close contact, touching or sharing personal items. No way is it linked to being burnt by twins. It is called vitiligo.
A very good evening to you. My name is Sophia Matovo. Thank you for joining me on yet another edition of the Vitiligo Stories. Now today we take a little twist and turn. Most of the stories we've been bringing for you are actually the persons who are telling their stories on vitiligo. But today, this is a rather unique episode where I met a young man, an artist, who has devoted his life into doing portraits on vitiligo. And that is none other than Martin Senkobuge. I'm down at his art studio in Bolindo, and let's get to see the wonderful works that he's doing and what actually inspires somebody to invest all their energy and time into doing portraits on vitiligo.
Martin Senkubuge, and I'm a visual artist, a researcher, and a curator. And I do create hyper-realistic drawings with some bits of abstract messages, and basically to visually amplify the vitiligo voices to add on what these people already have out there. So I do my research in terms of, I concentrate on vitiligo, and I try as much as possible to be very keen in my processes to ensure that I make this an experience other than just creating objects. So it's basically what I do, and I dedicated my entire art career to create vitiligo art movement as a permanent strategy to a long-term challenge. And yeah, basically it's what I do. Why vitiligo? It is an interesting question, actually, which I have constantly asked myself as well. Why vitiligo? Wouldn't I decide and actually draw something else, use my creativity, my extreme talent to do something that would actually make some quick money for me? And because why I say that is that from the time I started drawing in 2019, I haven't sold any artwork of vitiligo. People have shown up, yes, they would want to purchase, they love the work, but it's kind of, the market I placed my work is kind of expensive, and my work is somehow expensive, but we are hopeful that a day is going to come, a time will arrive when the relevant, not relevant, but the right places where this work is supposed to rest for forever is going to come. So it was in 2019, I was in my final year in Makerere University. And at that point, I was yearning for attaching a relevant purpose, a relevant message in my work. I didn't want to be like any other artist or creative in society. So I basically wanted to find a place where I could actually express myself with freedom. And I used to paint. You could see some of my paintings in the background. That was 2019. From that time, I've not painted again. And I've only been drawing vitiligo. But this one day was very key on this journey. It made actually the beginning. We might call it the incipio in the foreign language. And this is how it happened. On the 28th of September 2019, this lady shows up to actually purchase my work, which was in a public show. And it was World Speak, that was the exhibition. It was at Kingdom Kampala, Wampeo Avenue, I think around that place. And the lady was interested in this melanin tattoo painting. And I was basically talking about the permanent tattoo that God gave us, and actually advocating for, educating people not to bleach, and making my voice kind of heard in the artwork. And when I was explaining my work to this lady who was interested in buying it, in having it in her home, then I exclaimed, and I made claims that I understood Michael Jackson's case, and I'm like, you see, the likes of Michael Jackson who are trying to whiten themselves, why would you destroy your permanent tattoo, this melanin that God gave us, it's a permanent tattoo. So I was going extreme, and this lady cut me short and said, Martin, I'm so detached, I'm so disconnected from your work because you're not informed. I thought artists make research before presenting their work, and that was something that hit me within. I'm like, okay, I'm in third year, I'm at Makerere University, I'm about to get out of, university, but the lady is challenging me, meaning that I'm not ready for field. And then she's like, Michael Jackson had vitiligo. And I'm like, what is vitiligo? I was 23 then, and I didn't know what vitiligo was. And I'm like, okay, so this is where we go now. And she tells me, actually she went online and showed me the facts, and she's like, this is Michael Jackson, he had this skin condition, inherited from the kind of vitiligo that he had, he inherited it from his father, according to his words in his interview with Oprah Winfrey. So I got educated about vitiligo in that moment. I didn't take it as serious as it should, but the fact that she didn't buy the work it really hurt me because it was 1.3 million. I remember then that was the piece that she wanted to buy. And I needed that money. I wanted to finish school because I was funding most of my projects, my coursework materials, and it's a little expensive. So all this kind of moment put things together. And when I went back home, I remember I was in the showers. That's why one of my pieces actually has a moment in the showers. I'm like, okay, what is this vitiligo thing? So I was triggered and actually motivated to find out more about vitiligo. And when I went online, that's when I start actually getting more insights and more knowledge about vitiligo. And vitiligo was something that we knew in our society. It's something that we saw in our society, but we didn't have the facts about vitiligo. So at that point, I remember I asked my friends, do you know vitiligo? Do you know vitiligo? And everyone was plain and everyone was blank. And I'm like, okay, so this is something to talk about, vitiligo. Immediately, I started now conceptualizing an idea which I put together, and I started it as a project. I didn't know what it was actually calling for at the end of the day. And when I made my concept and shared it with, actually I remember it was during the times of COVID. We couldn't move, we couldn't do anything. And I started reaching out on social media. Do you know anyone with vitiligo? As people were asking, do you know someone who knows someone with COVID? Me, I was asking people, do you know someone who knows someone with vitiligo? And people are like, what is vitiligo? So the journey starts then. I discovered that actually people need to be educated, need to be sensitized, and need actually to be given the facts and information. So at that point, that's when I got one of the ladies who was living with vitiligo. She's called Daphne Walusa. And this lady played a very key role in my journey, in my beginnings. And she's the one who actually gave me contacts of a few people who were living with vitiligo, and she understood this concept very well because she also pursued the same course that I was doing at the university, and she was able actually to go out and let these people know, yeah, believe his concept, his project, participate in it. I didn't want to work with people with photos from online, from wherever, because of copyrights, first of all, and more so it wasn't going to be it wasn't going to make me feel, like I'm fulfilling something, I'm fulfilling a purpose. So I wanted to work with the real people, first listening to them and understand if what I think is what is the problem actually. So along the way, that's how we managed to, with friends, to brainstorm and see how actually we can craft this and make it more meaningful. And I got people, started talking to them, connected with them. So I found that actually this is going to be deeper than just a project. And because talking to them, you would feel the trauma, the stigma, the low self-esteem within them. You would feel how they have been hurt on a daily basis. And I started empathizing with them. I started feeling like I'm related. And somehow, I think it's also how I grew up. That's how the vitiligo narrative started evolving, and I ended up, I remember when I got the first funding from Gopi Zentrum Institute, it was a small project grant. I made a very amazing delivery, first 5 pieces of my first series, and that project, I think that's when it was, that's when now the whole big narrative started getting hotter and hotter again. And I started now actually taking this as a lifestyle, more than a project, more than more than an art piece. It became a lifestyle. An art piece is an experience. So what is it that I look out for in the work? Why do I have to go that extra mile of actually depicting a photograph, or even more than a photograph? Like I have had reactions from different viewers of my work. Well, I believe in processes of meditation. Meditation is a very big thing that actually does a lot in what I do. So when I have the freedom to go through a phase of processes of layers on my drawing paper, I find myself also healing within. I find myself creating a time off society, off this world that is filled with noise, with circumstances that are unfortunate sometimes, thinking bad or being anxious for nothing sometimes. I allow myself to go through a process. So it's a cleansing process that I go through to create these drawings that at the end of the day actually make a lot of sense in my creation. And I go an extra mile of spending more than 30 days on a single art piece. You know, you wake up on a daily basis and you're drawing for about 8 hours every day, and you create a piece on one part of an art piece. You go to the next artwork, to the next part. So going through this, and it also gives me an opportunity actually to correlate my story and make it resonate with the person I'm working with. Because this is how we do it. When I find someone who is willing to be part of my work, then I invite them on board, we have a discussion, we have interactions, and I want to connect with their story. I want to relate with them. Before I jump onto the drawing to make a masterpiece, I want to first actually have a soul invested in this work before it even comes to manifestation. So we go into a photo shoot phase after this kind of interaction, understanding who they are. We interact maybe for about a month or even more than a month. And I have them before the camera. Sometimes, most of them actually, the new people that I'm having recently, it's always their first time before the camera. And yeah, some of them really. And you have to first actually explain why you're putting them before the camera. Do you want to sell me out there? You know, like most people always, they're always anyway skeptical about this whole move of before the camera. Why are you investing too much in me? It's always the question. So we go through that experience of, and I think it's also a healing process for them to find that actually is someone who is willing to even be concerned. You know, be concerned about their condition, be concerned about what they go through on a daily basis, and someone is willing to learn. So all these stories that we gather along this journey is what I allow myself to invest in this work on a daily basis. I wake up and maybe I remember something about him. Maybe when I'm working on the eye, I remember a story that he told me and that was funny. So I connect with them. So before the work actually comes to this, there is a full process that people never have a chance to see. But we are now trying actually to make sort of documentaries and recordings and archives of every single process, from the meeting phase into the photo shoot, into the drawing phase, and then into the display of exhibitions. So yeah, that's where this hyperrealism comes from. Well, if I can start with the best piece, I think every piece that I've created, anyway, I don't want to really say that I want to sound like most of the artists that every piece is it makes a lot of sense to me, but that's a real fact to me, because every story within these pieces is totally unique. It's totally exclusive, and you find a place to place it in terms of this is better than this, or this is more touching than this, and you can't actually find a place to place these works. Reason why it becomes so hard for me to actually choose which one is my favorite. When I do these artworks and narrate these stories and embed them in the work, then I give an opportunity to the public actually to be the ones who have to be my judge. It is difficult for me to judge my work. So most of them, I remember when the work went viral and reached big spaces, BBC and The Guardian, and so many international magazines in UK and USA and all over the world, most people actually, they saw this as their favorite, Vitiligo King. is the name behind this work. And he's a king. His story is amazing, so somehow my mind started bending towards this. But then after creating some new artworks, people might not know, but this is a 2020 art piece, but now I've already created some artworks in 2023. So you see the evolution and the maturity of the stories and the narratives behind these works. It becomes quite difficult for me to say this is the best story, this is the most outstanding drawing, because everyone has a story, and I must listen to every story, and I want to always relate with every story. And actually some of the best drawings, I think they are in the future, because now currently I'm in a process of too much experimentation. I want to find the reason, why is it that I'm creating vitiligo art? So recently actually I discovered how my story comes into play. I do black and white drawings, however much I want to introduce color in them now, because of the new inspirations that I have gotten from their stories and also mine. Wow, what keeps me going? And this is where now I think I'm also lost in my discoveries. And reason why, every time I get one single testimony from someone, we've had scenarios where I have interacted with someone and actually this person was about to commit suicide because of vitiligo, because of the trauma, because of the stigma, and because of my intervention, we still have this person living and actually representing many. This person is now an ambassador. So, and then the other thing is, if we can have a look at the first 3 people who actually risked with me, I'll call it a risk. They risked with me because so many other people have exploited some of them. They come in the same narrative of, I want to do vitiligo art, and it's something to talk about. By the end of the day, when they get big things coming, they run away. And what keeps me going is seeing that vitiligo has been here for over 3,000 years. And it has been considered, in an African setting, it's more of actually a cultural condition than the medical. We might know that scientific facts for those who have an opportunity to that exposure, but many people are not informed. Many people are not sensitized. And I'm asking myself, how is the future of someone who is going to be born with vitiligo? And more so, the fact that vitiligo can get any person at any age, any skin color, and that means I'm a victim. Just because my time hasn't come, I can't wait actually until the time comes, and then I'm also stigmatized, and then I close myself in behind my room, and with no option, because that's what they live in, most of them. Good enough, some of them have now started coming out and actually stopping making up and all that. But just like I said, I already have a lot of stories from these people. And I keep imagining, how about a child who is going to be born tomorrow with vitiligo, and they are told that actually twins burnt you. In Tesoland, they say you ate an idarit, an extinct animal called idarit. So if it's extinct, for God's sake, really, why would someone be born tomorrow and they have vitiligo, or even someone who is now maybe 20 years and they develop vitiligo because it comes at any time, and then someone tells you that actually you have AIDS, you were burnt by twins, you ate this extinct animal. This whole narrative has to get off. Ignorance. Ignorance is covering us. Recently we had actually an exchange trip where I took about a group of about 20-something people from the Central with people living with vitiligo and some artists to Nebi for a cultural exchange. And we had an opportunity to interact with people living with vitiligo the other side. And this mist of interaction, you would really see how it instigates some kind of new possibilities of imaginations. People start actually thinking of, so we are not bad, we are not supposed to be out of society, we belong to community. So this whole narrative of even when you interact with some doctors and some dermatologists, they're going to tell you the honest truth, that there is no effort being made by the government, except the NGOs and some dermatologists who have privatized most of the things, and some of actually you discover these are expensive things that have to take care of some of the conditions they go through. So to me, it gives me that perspective of a future of what if everyone has vitiligo and we all actually keep looking at ourselves and we don't know what to say, what to do. So how about I use this opportunity where I still live in this contract that God gave me on earth to put a brick or even to set a foundation. I recently got a comment from one of my spiritual guides, and he said, you are actually a trailblazer, someone who brings up something new, something that hasn't been there. And he opened up my mind, and more so these kinds of comments and affirmations keep on endorsing my vision, keep on endorsing what I anticipate to see the future being like, because we have a very big vision. It is beyond a project, just like I say. We see, personally, I see a place where we are going to be having in the streamline, like if we have a national television right now doing this, documenting this, and it has a very big audience. This is an opportunity for us to create awareness. This is an opportunity for us to sensitize masses, people who are deep in villages, who may not know and actually still think these people have AIDS, these people were burnt, these people are curses, these people are bad omen. It's not the truth. So really why I have to keep creating this work is until it is considered normal, because it is. Until we see it as a scar, until we see it as, because some people have scars, but they're never questioned. We have unique things on our bodies, we don't question them. I believe that this philosophy of mind that I'm working with, of visualizing this skin condition on a daily basis, interacting with at least one person on a daily basis, with or without vitiligo, it is going to end up actually changing our mindset, changing or influencing new thinking around the cultural relativism. You know, cultural relativism is something that has been hindering us for a long, long time, where people say, no, for us we believe this, for us this is what we know. When are we going, for how long are we going to suffer this syndrome? I would want us to actually bust the myth, dispel the stigma, and set people free, because they are supposed to be free. I want us to portray the beauty. Until this is considered beautiful by even a young child, I cannot relax. Until I feel I have fulfilled my purpose, because this is my purpose. No one is going to see me actually create something else until I die. It is going to be vitiligo, and that's it. I know this is going to be in archives. The day I'll be on a sick bed, they'll ask me, and I'll still say the same. Because this is a divine calling for urgent intervention to actually create a narrative that is going to be reviewed even long time I am gone. We need something that is going to create a global narrative. We live in a global village now. So me using art and extreme talent that I don't know where I got from, but I acknowledge that God gave to me, I would want to bless the gifter just like that. I would want to glorify him through healing souls and healing mind too, because I have vitiligo just because it hasn't shown up. And you have vitiligo, you who is watching us, you have vitiligo just because it hasn't shown up. It is as simple as that, right? So if being black doesn't matter, being white doesn't matter, why should being both do? Thank you.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm very motivated. When I hear stories like this, I'm touched. But one secret Martin did not tell you. This boy is investing a lot. None of his art pieces have sold as far as vitiligo is concerned. But how is he putting in all the energy and effort? When he does or gets time to do some other artwork or any other work related to art, he practically gets that money and invests it in trying to push the movement and see that both me and other people out there get educated, accept and integrate persons living with vitiligo because it is not contagious. We need to stop all the different stigma around them. Martin, I'd like to say thank you so much. It takes quite a lot for somebody to devote and put their time and work into a project like you're doing. That is all we had time for today. Catch you next week, same time.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Come and shine in Plascon Paint and win the Twake edition. Buy Plascon Paint worth 100,000 shillings. Get a scratch card and SMS the code to 7197. Not only will you win instant airtime, but you could take home 1 million shillings daily, a share of 4 million shillings each week, or a brand new motorbike with fuel worth 100,000 shillings. Terms and conditions apply. Plascon, color your world.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tiwayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism. By curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy, with the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we are in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tuayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Wait, Titus, you need to take your medicine.
But Mom, they are playing without me.
Here, swallow your medicine fast. I don't want you to get another headache from that infection.
Medicines help us feel better when we are ill, but sometimes they can cause side effects. By reporting side effects, you help us learn about the medicine we use. This improves quality of care for each patient. Always report suspected side effects to NDA. Together, we can make medicines safer for everyone. This message is brought to you by National Drug Authority with support from Global Fan.
From foundations to homes, to skyscrapers, sketches to superhighways, come meet the people raising the bar in construction at the first ever Uganda Construction and Infrastructure Forum and Exhibition. Genuine contractors, architects, engineers, surveyors, financiers, suppliers, manufacturers, and policy makers under one umbrella for all your construction needs. For 4 days of thought-provoking discussions, exhibitions, and networking. Don't miss the enigmatic Professor P.L. Olumumba, our keynote speaker, from the 14th to the 17th of December at Kololo Independence Grounds. Visit www.unapsec.co.ug for sponsorship and exhibitions. Call Miss Helen or Mr. Mike Selunkuma on 0774 992 514.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, my name is Sophia Matovu and I'm down in Lira City. But in Lira City, I made an effort to go down, deep down in the village, to a place called Amorel. You might be asking yourself, what am I doing there? You have heard, I guess, about palliative care. I thought rather than sitting down on the desk or rather than sitting down in the studios and having this conversation, I would rather come down to the field and let the stories speak to you. Here with me in this homestead, like you can see, I happened to come across a young boy who is a caregiver at the age of 17, but even before he made 17, he has been taking care of his mother who is partially blind, She's living with HIV but needed palliative care services and his younger brother. Listen into their story.
Child-headed families. The 2016 National Household Survey shows 24,063 children-headed households in Uganda. In homes where parents are severely ill and need palliative care, children are often the primary caregivers. With no money, the child quits school to earn a living while caring for the dying parent.
In 2014, my mom is not okay. She's having HIV positive together with my brother. So that time, my parents, which is a father, is not there. Again, my mom she's a blind person. So I was even still young, but I had to take care of her together with my brother. In case of any sickness, I travel with her to the hospital, footing there and then, doing all those things. And from there, when we are at home, I have to go to the hill there to make some money, to come and make sure that home is going on well. But I went through some few challenges, even where we were staying, which is where we are in right now. People who are here, they treat us like just like street children. But we keep on praying that God, please, if times allow you, make us to be somebody, that to make our life be well. But I kept on praying.
Tony, the brother who is called Gerald, was admitted in the hospital. By then he was a small boy, not as tall and big like the way you are seeing him. The mother also was referred to us. We used to walk in every ward to identify palliative care patients. And when we would identify them, of course we bring them to the unit and we sit with them, talk with them, counsel them. We have a form for assessment. So we had to assess Gerald and the mother. The mother was also enrolled because she had a lot of pain to the services for palliative care. That was 2014. And the assessment, with palliative care, once the patient is tired, the first thing you do is to relieve pain. And then you start, once the person says, next time, you make appointment, then another time. So that is how we got to know the mother and the two children. And on assessment, we found that they were in need. They were in the greatest need compared to all those other patients. Even some of the transport money we used to come with, we had to give them because they would come. The young boy is hungry, there's nothing to eat. You ask, they have not eaten at night. Are they studying? No. Tony's hand, if you would touch, it was like this wood here, very hard. We asked him, what are you doing? He says, for me, I go dig in people's gardens. That is how I support my father. Because he was now a husband, a father, a brother, everything to the mother, to the brother, and to himself. So he would even go to the quarry to hit aggregates and sell. And of course, it's not always a lucky day. There are days when they would go without it. So on assessing, we found they were in need. And we even made sure we had to come here.
In 2014, and then we met Sister Phil in their regional referral hospital. By that time, my brother Gerald, he was sick and he was admitted in the hospital. I stayed there with him for at least, if I'm to remember, I think 2 weeks. Together with him, we had nothing like bed sheets, mosquito nets. I slept on the floor there. But by God's grace, by that time, God did something which is very good.
The Road to Hope program supports child caregivers from financially poor backgrounds to access basic needs for their families and continue with education while caring for their chronically ill parents. The Palliative Care Association of Uganda, in partnership with the Center for Hospice Care under the Global Partnerships in Care, established the Road to Hope program in 2012. The children are identified in collaboration with palliative care practitioners, especially in the rural districts of Uganda. They have cared for or are still caring for their chronically ill parents, while at the same time are burdened with the responsibility of fending for the family, a role the parent can no longer fulfill. They often walk long distances to receive their parents' medication. Child caregivers are forced to do odd jobs to get income to support their families, which does not leave them much time to focus on their education. The Road to Hope program relieves them of this burden. Once identified, children are enrolled in schools within their districts to enable them continue to get additional community support. Their other needs, which include financial, social, and psychological support, are taken care of by the program.
In 2015, they connect us to Palliative Care Association. In 2016, I started study from P1, but I was big now. By that time, I think I was now already 13 years. But they asked me, that Tony, do you want again to go back to school? I say yes, but only that I don't have money to go to school, but I want to study. And then they took me to study. I started studying in 2016. Again in 2017, my brother also joined. I give thanks to God. If somebody come, that Tony, please come and help me do this. I go. Then after that, that little money which I receive, I use it to make sure that home is going on well. By that time, I don't have any money. For me, I just take my brother or my mom, in case they are sick, to the real regional referral, because from there, they cannot pay money. But in case any sickness which is tough now, I don't have money to take them maybe to clinic. For me, I just go straight there. My mom, she's blind. Again, my brother also had HIV positive together with my mom. Everything I have to do, because my brother was also still young. Everything I'm the one to do. From there, even I think of, I don't know how my future will be. So sometimes I can cry, but my mom said that, please, don't do that. God has something for you. Just keep on praying. And then my mom keep on talking to me. Even some people who love us, they come and talk to us, encouraging us.
I'm Richard Opio. I'm a teacher by profession. When I came here in 2010, it was the time I met him. He was still very young with his last brother. So they were there together with the mother. There were three there. When I found them, in fact, I saw that they needed some help. Generally, counseling, advices. So I started being close to them to guide them to love studies, to be in schools. And they accepted, although there was difficulty. They had no one to pay for their fees. And the schools in our locality here had some little to be paid. But they would go to schools when there is time for demand for fees. Sometimes they drop out. Sometimes they stay there. So I keep on advising them not to give up. So they continue like that. And in terms of feeding, sometimes they would get difficulty. And when we have something, we support them. Unfortunately, the younger brother would fall sick from different ailments like malaria and others. And sometimes we also come in where we can. We advise them to seek medical help. Sometimes we give them bus call to go for treatment, especially the elderly brother, Tony, to take his younger brother to hospital. Sometimes their mother would be down, and we would also come in to see that she gets some help. And we would also see that she seeks medical attention. And we keep on like that.
In 2018, I was in primary. I was supposed to go to primary 4. Then they took me to boarding school. From there up to now, I haven't seen any misconduct or from my friends. They cannot abuse me or what. Because from there even I can behave well, all teachers like me, so I did not add anything. And I'm enjoying my study together with my brother. Even from school there, they can allow me to communicate to my mom. But sometimes I can get worried because maybe she's had nothing to cook, do what. But even this holiday I was thinking that I'm coming to find her or maybe sick, but I came and found my mom very healthy and she was just happy. Actually, by the time we joined Palliative Care Association, up to now, of course we face some challenges, but up to now I'm very happy because there are so many things that Palliative Care Association they have done into our home. And right now I can see my future, yet I have not yet seen. Like where we are staying, here, people don't love us. Even time came and they say that they don't know us. We should go and find our place in a street there. But I told them, please, give us time. God will give us something and we'll leave your place. In 2020, they came and bought for us a piece of land, just a piece, but it's very important because they bought for us. Again, this year I came back from school. I was very happy and I give thanks to God. I found that our house, they have already started construction and construction is still going on.
So this is the house for those of Tony and Gerald. We decided to put 3 rooms. This room on this right-hand side belongs to their mother. And we are going to put metallic door, a window, and this place a wooden window. Metallic window for safety. This is their sitting room. Here we'll have a metallic door so that when she locks herself, she's blind. She locks herself, safety. This 3rd room here is for the boys, Gerald and Tony. One bed can be here, one bed can be here, and here is also going to have a metallic window so that they don't have, you know, everywhere there are wrong people in society, so that they don't have access to enter in. But all these sides that are finished, we are going to finish it. And then we are going to make a proper ramp because their mother is blind. She needs a ramp for movement. at work even with Palliative Care Association, even with hospice. When we find there are things which we cannot manage, we ring the people of hospice. Also when they are sending patients, referring to us, they ring, and then now I go with them to the palliative care unit. So I ran quickly to Palliative Care Association because there is this project of helping, paying school fees, and they want carers who are looking after the sick people. So he was the main carer. So that is how I contacted them. We had to contact the LC1, what have you. That is how I located this family. And I found they were in total poverty. I would call it acidic poverty, abject poverty. You would see it on their face, on everything. But I want to thank God that now they can smile. Now they are happy. Now they can laugh. It was difficult to find a smile on their face, to laugh, to do what? Because God has been faithful. For sure, I said that was God. What was paining the mother was like, for me now, if I am to die, where am I leaving my 2 children? Where are they going to be? Eh? That was her main worry, because that is the question they ask. What is your main worry? She said, now, supposing I die, my children, where will they be? No land, no nothing. They are being called corridor children.
Currently, the Road to Hope program supports 58 children from various districts of Uganda, that is in Arua, Yumbe, Moyo, Masaka, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Buyukwe, Chibale, Luka, Mayuge, Tororo, Ruwero, and Kayunga. Tony is one of the beneficiaries of the program.
So I give thanks to God. Not only that, during holidays like this, they usually give us food stuff. Even when we are at school there, they give us even pocket money in case anything is missing, we can get it. But I'm very happy. And there are so many things they have done that I did not mention, and I think yet are still to be done. What I can tell my friends is, whenever you are facing some challenges, though your parents are not there, in everything that you are going to do, you must put God first and let God be your helper and pray to God, because God has everything for us. And even if you are going through difficulties, don't think that you are useless, because you don't know what you will be in future. That is the only thing I can put on to my friend.
Need I say more? I think Tony has said it all. He's got such a sad story, but what I found quite touching in his story is that he still did not give up on education. He was not ashamed to be laughed at, much as he's 17 years old, to still be that he's in primary school. But thanks goes to Palliative Care Association of Uganda for coming in to support this boy. Not only did you provide the palliative care support to the family in terms of the mother's physical well-being, but you also went ahead of one of your programs to see to it that these young boys are enrolled in school. What better way other than now to say thank you so much for giving the boy a ray of hope, for giving the family a ray of hope, for constructing a house for them. Thank you.
The International Anti-Corruption Day is a global day dedicated to raising awareness about the deadly effects of corruption on societies and economies worldwide. The day serves as a call to action to combat corruption, promote transparency, and uphold ethical values in both public and private sectors. Join Mr. James Onying Penui, Director Research, Education and Advocacy, Inspectorate of Government, together with Mr. Alvin Mutebi, Research and Advocacy and Corruption Coalition Uganda, on a TV talk show hosted by Amon Ampaire Butega this Friday, 8th December 2023, from 9 to 10 p.m. as they dissect the damaging effects of corruption to promote international efforts to combat it and mobilize individuals, governments, and organizations to take a strong stand against corruption. Only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
UBC, Inspiring Uganda.